I am Jenny and welcome to FREEJOO, the global community of educators. Let me show you why as an educator you should make FREEJOO an important part of your teaching and learning practice. A community of teaching practice is important for any educator. On FREEJOO you will be able to access CollabEd, which is like LinkedIn but for educators. Here you will be able to connect and network with other educators from all around the world. You can build your own community of teaching practice and/or join one of the many other existing groups and learn and share ideas, lesson plans, etc. with each other. Then, for a more formalized approach to professional development, you can go to SkillEd, which is like Netflix for educators. Here, you will be able to access a wide range of courses designed by global experts that will help you to learn about new pedagogical, technical, and soft skills, all related to 21st century education and the future of work. There are more than 20 courses available for free, and for more advanced level courses, you can upgrade to the Silver membership plan for just $20 per year and get access to all courses designed by Akadasia. The courses are available in English and in several other Asian languages. And what's more, you will receive a free verifiable and tamper-proof digital certificate for each course that you complete. If you have upgraded your membership to the Silver, Gold, or Platinum plans, you also get access to DesignEd, which is like Canva for educators. Here you will find the easiest and fastest way to practice your own instructional design skills and build your own courses. We have pre-integrated several third-party edtech apps like FlipGrid, Canva, Mentimeter, Padlet, H5P, Zoom, etc. right into FREEJOO so you can make your courses engaging and fun for your own learners. As you can see, there is a lot you can do on FREEJOO as an educator. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.freejoo.com and get your very own free lifetime membership today. See you soon on FREEJOO.
Hi, Jake.
Hi, Kirsten.
How are you today?
Very good. How about you?
I'm doing well. We just wanted to welcome everyone. Jake and I are going to talk to you today about FlipGrid. And we're very excited. We're going to do this in a little bit different way. We're just going to have a conversation with you. And Abby, if you could please post the Manymeter link so people can ask us questions right away. And let's start with who we are. Jake, why don't you introduce yourself?
Great. First and foremost, I'm a teacher based here in the Philippines. I've taught in the high school and college and even graduate school levels. All in all, I've had 17 years of teaching experience. So we've pretty much, seen it all, except different scenarios in online teaching and learning. Curse now that schools have transitioned to these new modes of teaching and learning, I would have to admit that I'm still learning the many new techniques and strategies that we're learning now to make sure that student engagement is always high. That's why opportunities like this to learn something new, like FlipGrid, as a teacher, I'd really welcome. I'd really appreciate.
Well, and there is something else. You're also a parent.
Yes.
And I think that's an important perspective today as well, because you're going through this not only from the perspective of teaching, but watching your own child learn.
Right. I have a 6-year-old who's now in kinder here in Manila, and every week they have video assessments that they have to submit to their LMS. And as much as the child would really have to focus and get things done, there's also a lot of stress on the parents to make sure that the video is done well, that we're answering the questions that the teachers are asking, or meeting the requirements of the assessment. Again, learning about how we can make the most out of apps like FlipGrid. The way it's also integrated in FREEJOO is something that for me, both as a teacher and as a parent, will be most helpful or useful.
Excellent. Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kirsten Bartels. My friends call me Kirst, which is why I get called that by Jake. And I am the Chief Academic Officer here at Akadasia, and very excited. We're starting today with a different series. We're switching our workshop Wednesdays rather, and we're giving you more specific information about some of the tools that we use to make our own online teaching and hybrid teaching, and even actually face-to-face teaching, more interesting, more engaging, and more impactful using some digital tools that didn't exist all that long ago. I mean, my kids are now 21 and 24, so I'm on the other end of this. My youngest is just finishing in their final year at university. So I have a very different perspective. I mean, I did a degree online, but let's be honest, it was a correspondence course. So it was very, very different. Um, so let's talk a little bit. We made
Yeah.
just a presentation only to give you guys a roadmap of what we're going to talk about today. So Abby is our behind the scenes person and we adore her. Abby, if you could please put up our presentation slides.
Right. And as Abby's setting up, Kiers, I'd like to welcome the teachers who are joining us today. Teachers from Singapore, thank you very much for being with us. And teachers from the Philippines, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Salamat po sa pagsama sa amin ngayong hapong to.
And from all over the world. I don't have access to where everyone is coming from today. I can tell you that it's a very dark 2 a.m. where I am in Holland, Michigan. But we're very excited to be able to. Oops, Abby's got the beginning of our part. That's my fault, by the way. I was playing with it before this started. So what we want to talk about today is we want to talk about the 3 E's of FlipGrid: the engagement, the enjoyment, and the interactions that you can get by using this tool. And I guess the first thing I want to ask, and please post in Manymeter, you can post questions, but you can also post responses, is how many people have used FlipGrid so far? And what do you think of it?
So teachers, please feel free to post either in Mentimeter or into the chat box.
Oh yeah, the chat bar.
Curse FlipGrid really is an amazing tool that many teachers love using to engage students. While it was even available even before the pandemic for in-person learning, it's even more useful now that so many of us have transitioned to online teaching.
Abby, can you go to our next slide, please? So what we're going to focus on is really 4 aspects: what FlipGrid is, why you might want to explore it, when you should use it, and how to use it. And as Abby, it's funny, as she just let you know, the first thing you need to do is you need to sign up for an account. And you just go to flipgrid.com and you sign up for an account. And Ethan, who is another person behind the scenes, did all kinds of research, and FlipGrid is free. And so we love free, especially because we know that teachers don't have limited funds or unlimited funds. They have very limited funds. So this is a way you can do something for free.
So it's an absolutely free platform where students can create and post short videos of themselves responding to questions or topics, right? Yeah.
So Abby, can you go to our next slide? And I mean, this is what you're going to get when you go to sign up. Just go to flipgrid.com. Here you go, sign up. Very easy to do. Even I could do it at 2 a.m. Okay, Abby, next slide, please. Okay, so Jake, what is FlipGrid?
Right. It's a video platform, Kirsten, where students can create and post short videos of themselves responding to prompts, to questions, or to topics posted by teachers, while fostering classroom community and student relationships can be difficult through a screen. FlipGrid actually helps bridge this gap. So it increases student interactions through video. At the same time, it encourages relationship building among the students. And best of all, as you've said earlier, through Ethan's research, it's free. Right?
And it's not just sitting in front of your computer recording a video, and we'll show you this a little later. You can play with backgrounds and add emojis and add these other things to it. And so students can really be creative and they can have fun with this. This isn't just them sitting, staring at a computer screen and saying, "Hi, my name is Kirsten Bartels. I am in Holland, Michigan." They don't know. They can be very creative. They almost have like a Snapchat ability to go and do some really fun things with it. Okay, Abby, next slide, please. So why use it? Because you can do things that maybe you didn't even think about. And you can actually use it in a way that combines online learning with your face-to-face classes. Jake, we were talking before this about, when I was young, and maybe we still do this. I think you said your daughter still has to, of having to read out loud.
Right.
If you want to learn to read, reading out loud. But for me, that was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. I might have a slight learning disability. So I didn't want to do that. But if I didn't have to stand in front of my classmates, if I could just sit and read out loud here, I think it would have been much less stressful for me.
Mm-hmm.
My teacher would still be able to know because I would have this video, and I wouldn't be taking time in the class because I was always in my head, am I taking too long? And I think it gives students this ability to not have to be so incredibly self-conscious.
Right, and I also remember, Chris, when I was a teacher of that was grade 8 or grade 9 kids who would have to read their speeches in front of the class. It was always both a terrifying and nerve-wracking experience for them, having to go up there with all the eyes at them, and then with the teacher grading them. But at the same time, I also do remember when I was a teacher how it was so difficult to grade and to assess every student that had to stand up and give those speeches, because I had to take notes all the time and make comments and recommendations on how they could improve the delivery of their speeches. With FlipGrid, those issues are easily addressed, because all the teacher has to do is, play back the videos and be able to see, the finer points on how the students can improve the way they deliver their speeches. Yeah.
Well, and to go further with that, when you give a speech, someone else is watching you, but you don't get to see how you look.
Mm-hmm.
And, if someone says, hey, stop saying, you don't hear yourself saying, a million times, or the big things in the States, the big fillers are like an. And so if someone points that out to you, you don't necessarily realize you're doing it. So being able to watch yourself is another aspect of FlipGrid. You can make the video more than once. It's not just a one and done kind of thing. So you can practice and you can watch yourself getting better.
And so in that way, Kirst, it's also very formative for the students, right? Because maybe for the older students, they're able to make a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-assessment, a lot of self-correction even after they watch their own videos, and make those adjustments and do better the next time they have to do it. Whereas in an on-site class, when the speeches are made, once the student delivers his piece, then that's pretty much it, right? The opportunity to correct oneself and to change or make adjustments are very limited.
I agree. Well, let's go on to our next slide. I don't know why we're flashing a wonderful Nelson Mandela quote, but I kind of like that. When can you use FlipGrid? I found this when I was just doing some research for this. EdTech did a karaoke party on FlipGrid. I think that's kind of fun. I don't do karaoke. No one wants me. As I think, Jake, you've seen the one video that exists of me singing. No one wants me to sing. But when would you use FlipGrid? Yes, I'm putting you on the spot, Jake. I want to know when you use it.
Okay. Well, there are many applications, right, to using FlipGrid. But if you'd ask me, like I'm also an economics teacher for senior high school students here in Manila, and my weekly assignment would be to basically to read the news and give me a quick perspective or take on a certain news item or a certain segment of the news that they were required to watch. And they have to talk about it. They have to give their opinions, their thoughts. Of course, we structure it or scaffold it in a way that first they have to present the key facts that they learned from the news. At the same time, make a stand after, and that's something that I have been able to do with FlipGrid in class. I was able to see all the students making those responses in video formats. How about you, Chris? What would you think would be the best way for you
Well,
to use it?
I love having students take the time to summarize, what they've done. The ability to explain something shows that you really have actually processed the information. So, my favorite class that I used to teach was on mythology. And I used to have my students do these myth hunts, and they had to find modern references to ancient myth and to explain what those are. And so, what's the reference? Is it a good reference? What are their thoughts about this? So, I think it would be really fun to give them the ability to do that virtually. I would always give the example, actually, of the Honda Odyssey. So, no offense, Honda, I'm not saying anything bad about you, but so I would ask the students, okay, is that a good reference to, what's it a reference to? Well, Homer's Odyssey. Is it a good reference? And it's funny because originally the students were like, yeah, it's this epic journey. Like, really? Do you want to drive a passenger vehicle named after a story where it takes 20 years to get home and only the driver survives? So, giving them the opportunity to go and think through, and also giving students the ability to demonstrate their thought process. I mean, you can't necessarily do that on a piece of paper. Math is the most famous one where it's always show your work. But when you're trying to figure out something else, I would also use it to level the playing field of who gets to speak. Because if you think about it, there's the quieter kids in the classroom. And sometimes, a little too often, in my opinion, we decide that the quiet kids are quiet because they don't know the answer. Some of them are quiet because they're shy. Some of them are quiet because they want to think more deeply. And if you pose questions on FlipGrid, those students have the ability to take the time to think more deeply and formulate their answer. So I think it actually adds a level of depth that you may not get in a classroom discussion all the time. And then you can actually comment on other people's videos. I want to make sure people know that it isn't just the teacher asking a question and then the student answering it. You can use these to facilitate discussions. And we'll show you a little bit about that shortly as well. Okay, Abby, let's go on to our next slide. How? I think we want people to sign up to take our class.
Yes, it's on FREEJOO, the 3 E's of FlipGrid. After this course, we'd like to invite our teachers to take on the brand new short course that we've just added today.
And you can do this. This is part of a paid membership for FreeJoo. If you are a silver, gold, or platinum member, you have access to all the courses online. I think the silver membership is $20 a year, which is less than my husband spends at Starbucks in a month. He's asleep. He didn't hear that. So this will actually go and give you more specifics. Jake and I aren't going to give you the actual specifics of how to do it because we want you to take the time and take the course. Okay, Abby, what's next in our lovely slide? Okay, I am going to ask to share my screen, if that's okay, and show you some different things about FlipGrid itself. All right.
And these are FlipGrid videos posted on FreeJoo under the course Introduction to Online Teaching.
Yes, those are. And I will show that just... Abby, can I switch and can I have my... There we go. Abby's so good, isn't she? Okay, I told everyone that my screen was doing weird things. I don't know if it looks weird for you guys, but for me, my screen is green.
It looks good,
Okay.
Curse.
So this is an example of something that you'll get. It is a standard thing that is easy, and it's just giving people, and you will go experience this when you take our class, the ability to go and use FlipGrid. You get to introduce yourself, and you simply click add a response. And my computer doesn't want to work today. I was already screaming about it. But it's a very straightforward thing to do. You add your response. You can record it. You can re-record it. And what we wanted to show you is when you do this for an actual class, some of you have already taken Introduction to Online Teaching, and this is what you see as the teacher. You can go and you can access all these different videos. So you can see the multiple topics you've put up, the videos you've put up, and you can go and you can respond. I'm going to randomly click on one. And when you go and you look at it, here you go. This was the assignment. Here are the responses. And you can go, you can like a video, you can comment on a video, you can respond to a video. It gives you this wonderful ability to go and interact in a completely different way. And the one other thing that I want to make sure people know exists with FlipGrid is what they call the FlipGrid Disco Library. And I'm old, and I have to admit that until I actually went to the site, when I saw FlipGrid Disco Library, I didn't associate disco with discovery. But, I was alive in the 70s, and I remember that horrible music and those nasty clothes. And now people are going to make comments not about FlipGrid, but about the fact that I'm, dissing the 70s. So, Jake, we were talking a little bit about, the FlipGrid Disco or Discovery Library, and this is free as far as we could find out. Again, I don't know everything about FlipGrid, but it gives you this ability to go and search and access a ton of topics that you can then just input into your own course design. And in the course, we give you the link to go and check this out. It's amazing the things that you can do with it. And
Yeah.
and I'm going to reload it. I apologize, everyone. I was just complaining to Jake. I'm having computer issues myself today. For some reason, I don't know why my computer hates me, but it does.
Yeah,
So
yeah. First, whatever subject they're teaching, right, or whatever level they're handling, they'll find resources on the FlipGrid Disco library. Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to use a different web browser because I'm going to blame that my web browser is the reason. I'm not going to tell you which one because I don't want to get sued. Oh, it wants me to sign in. Okay. All right. I'm not going to be able to show you everything I want until my computer decides to function properly. But if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if there's anything you want Jake and I to go into more detail about with FlipGrid, please let us know. We are happy to do things. There's one that I kind of want to show if I can get my computer to work. I'm really embarrassed it's not working right now. And that's this FlipGrid hot activity, and I don't know why it's not working. So Jake, I am going to let you share more of your thoughts and your insights on didn't your daughter try to use FlipGrid?
She did. We played around with it, but I was also comparing it with other video platforms, Curse. But one of the things that I really liked about FlipGrid was the fact that in one view of the screen you can see all the videos, all the video responses of the participants there. Unlike using YouTube, where students will have to post responses. When you're the teacher and you have to check the video submissions, you will have to open each file or access individual links to be able to see the video responses. And that takes a lot of time. It's very cumbersome. However, in FlipGrid, you can see all the submissions there, all the video responses there. And when you're the teacher, that makes things more efficient. And that makes things much easier for grading as well, so that you don't have to go out of the site and open another link or open another YouTube page to see the video submission of the students.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna see if my computer wants to work. This isn't new to Jake. He's heard me screaming about my computer for how long now? Okay, Abby, can you let Mike? There we go. And for me,
There
it's
you go.
pink. It's really weird. So this is the Discovery Library, and anytime I click refresh, it changes what I can see. But it gives you topics of the day and wonder of the day, or you could search by specific subjects. And if you find something, or if there's a creator that you're more interested in, you can go and you can look at any of these things. So we can just randomly pick one. What makes you special? And it's this easy to add the topic. It tells you who this is for, and it gives you the ability to embed it where you share the link right here. It's that simple and that straightforward. And I'm going to stop that because it's talking in my head, and I don't know if you can hear it as well. But there is something that I want to talk about as well, though, Jake, and that's the security of FlipGrid.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we're like FlipGrid salespeople. We're really not. We just like it. Because what you have a couple options when you go and you create these things. And one of them that I think is very important to use, and I will pull it up to show people in a second, is this ability to choose who gets to go and do your stuff. And you can say that you need to improve the people that go. And it's very easy because as a teacher, you can enroll your students via, their email addresses and other things, because you don't want just anyone to be able to access this information. And FlipGrid does give you the ability to say only people I approve. Now, if you don't care, if you want anyone in the world to be able to access your stuff, you can do that as well. For us at Akadasia, we're very careful. We require you to use a guest password. And I think that most of you have probably taken a class and have seen that. And that is another option where we're saying, okay, as long as you have the guest password, you can access our stuff. And that's because we want you to be able to enroll in our courses and not restrict you by making sure we have, your exact email address that you use. So for us, it's a little easier to do it, but for teachers that are teaching, in high school or, kindergarten, like your daughter, they already have your students' information and then can access it that way. It's really easy to use. So I don't know really what else we should tell people. If you want to know more about FlipGrid, take our course. It's a very straightforward thing. It walks you through the process of signing up, of creating groups, of creating topics. It goes into more detail about where, when, how, and why to use FlipGrid. I don't know what else people really want to know, and I don't see any questions that we really need to answer or that we haven't already answered. So if you're watching and you have any questions, now is the time.
Or maybe if any teacher who's joining us today have used FlipGrid course, maybe they can share with the rest what their experience was like in using FlipGrid, or if there were outstanding experiences, engaging experiences with students that they were able to do using FlipGrid. Then we'd love to hear from the teachers as well.
Oh, exactly. We do have a partner who has put an exciting course online as
Right.
well, from Neanne Poly. It is a course on cultural intelligence for educators. We highly recommend you go on FreeJoo, on SkillEd, and check that course out. Andrew is amazing, and I really like the course. And there's some stuff that I definitely learned, and there's a video that it was interesting because I think it's a provocative video. I think that it's interesting to me that it exists and how different people view it very, very differently. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
Andrew and I
the
had
course, right? Yeah,
it's a great course, and Andrew
it's
and
a
I
great course.
actually had some conversations
Yeah.
about it afterwards because I'm like, wow, that video really exists. They really didn't think there was anything. He's like, well, no. I'm like,
Yeah.
but he's like, nope. So it was very interesting to go, and you
Yeah.
will have discussions with him. It's really
Mhm.
cool. He has you watch this video among other things that you do in this course, and give your feedback, and then he goes and he responds to you until and you have a discussion with him, and it's very
Mhm.
cool. I like Andrew very much, so check that course out. It's Cultural Intelligence for Educators, part 1. There will be a part 2 coming in, I think, a month.
Yeah.
um, but these things are available to you, and so much else is available if you go on to freeju.com. Again, our course teaching you how to use FlipGrid, it's it's a paid course, but if you do the $20 annual membership, you get access to all the courses. And there are a ton of really cool courses online. Has I don't think anyone really wants to talk with us tonight, Jake. I think that they just wanted to listen.
Well, Kate has a question here.
Excellent.
If she uses FlipGrid, do students have to download the app?
No, they do not. All they do is they click on a link.
Uh-huh.
So if you go to any of our courses, let's see if I can pull one up quickly, and they just simply click on the link. And for us, they sign in for a guest password. For you, they won't have to, and they access the stuff. I think we should show them how to actually make one.
Right. Everything's browser based, right? Kirs? No need to download the app there.
No need to download the app.
But when you use FreeJoo, there's a seamless integration into the platform there. So please go ahead and explore that as well.
I am actually going to open the
Mhm, mhm.
Introduction to Online Teaching course on my computer. We'll see if it wants to work for me. And I will go through the process of making a video. So do we have any other questions while I am finding the one I want to actually make? I like using it with FreeJoo because it's, everything is on the same screen.
Mhm.
So especially if you're designing a course, I've used a bunch of different learning management systems, and I'm a huge fan of FreeJoo, which I guess makes sense considering I work for the company. But I love it because it's so easy to use. It's so straightforward to use. Everything is on one page. So even
Mhm.
going and putting in the FlipGrid assignment and going and accessing it, it's all on one page. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Ah, how does FlipGrid promote peer-to-peer learning? You can answer that, Jake, as I try
Yeah.
to access what I'm trying to access.
Right. Yeah, Kate. Peer-to-peer learning can be achieved using Flipgrid. Basically, when you're, giving students the agency to post comments and to react to the video responses submitted by the students. That way, the conversations, the discussions can be structured quite well by the teacher because as you go through it, you will find that there are so many ways by which you can also type in the prompts or the manner by which you'd want the students to react and give their comments on each one's video. So that among the other ways by which it can be achieved is can best promote peer-to-peer learning. Any other thoughts on that, Kurs?
Well, I think it's great because it gives your students the ability to come up with thoughtful answers. And it teaches them to take the time to think before they respond. And I know that may sound silly, but at least the trend I've seen in the last 5 or 10 years with things like some social media, people don't take the time to have reflective engagement. It's I respond to you instantly. And Flipgrid, you need to take the time. I mean, yeah, I guess you can go and you can make that video, but you make the video and then it's your decision to post it or not. So it gives you the ability to engage more thoughtfully, which I think
Mhm.
is really important. But you get to show people. You get to let them see your world. You get to go and explain things, and other people then get to see you in a different way. And you can be creative and funny or serious and use all these different features to really go and do projects and do different things. One of them, when I was looking at the Disco library, they had, and I don't know if you have ever played this game, the Two Truths and a Lie,
Mhm.
which there's a link that you can go and you can incorporate that. For those of you that have never heard of the game, it was a party game that came up somehow where you go and you tell two things that are true about you and one thing that isn't, and people get to guess which it is. And it can be really fun because people get to know you better.
Mhm.
And that's one way that you can use Flipgrid, and they can watch this on their own time. They can watch this when they're receptive to it. I've we've long had discussions about education and how the youngest kids are up and ready to learn early, but the older you get, the more your brain needs more. You sleep more, and you're not really receptive to educational experiences until later in the day. But at least in the States, the older kids start first. I mean, we were on
Mhm.
the bus to go to school by 6:30 in the morning, and your brain isn't ready. And the 5-year-olds don't go until significantly
Right.
later. And it's like, so this gives you the ability to let students interact when they're at their best,
Mhm.
which I think is something that we overlook.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to show this quickly. This is from the Introduction to Online Teaching course, which if you haven't taken it, we highly recommend it. It's free on FreeJoo. Abby, can I share my screen, love? Thank you. Okay, so again, we said we use a guest password. So I'm gonna enter the guest password. I already copied it. Oh. Don't save my password. And you just quickly say add a response. And for me, it's going to be weird because my camera is here and this is over there. So we'll see how this works. Oh, sorry guys. I didn't set this up. I wasn't thinking about, okay. So it gives me the ability to make a video. It gives you the ability to set the limit of time. We're saying this is a 3-minute video. Lots of options are available here. I want to play with some effects. I want to add some stickers. Ooh, let's see. This is how I feel right now because it's 2:30 in the morning. I can change my background. I can do, that's quite the exciting background. I can do all these different things. I can even move myself and my position on the screen. I can make myself bigger or smaller. So your students can have fun with this. And then when they're ready, they get to hit record. It counts down the amount of time they have, and then they make their video. And whoever, I don't know if Abby's going to be the one to watch this, but she's going to say, okay, you just really recorded the video during this. But you record it, you can retake it, which I think is very important. And then when you're done, you just go through the process.
So it's very intuitive.
It's very
Sure.
intuitive. You
Very,
can
very easy to use. Yeah.
It's so easy to use. And then you post it to the topic, which I am not going to do because I don't think everyone who's taking iTaught needs to see me go and do that. But it is so easy to use. And our students are much more tech savvy than we are.
Mhm.
But it's really intuitive. In fact, so is FreeJoo.
Yeah.
And a lot of these tools now are so much more intuitive than they ever used to
Right.
be. So we are making a lot of
Okay.
strides. And I think that's really important.
Mhm. And because we have the teacher's needs and contexts in mind, especially for FreeJoo, we want to make sure that it's always a painless experience, right? Occurs that they're able to set up their courses on FreeJoo and immediately, roll them out for students to use.
Exactly. Because, Jake, we have had long talked about this, that
Yeah.
we need to again thank all the teachers, everyone who's watching us live, everyone who's going to watch this later. Teaching is one of the
Right.
most critically important professions and one of the least appreciated professions. We're here for you. We are both teachers, we are both parents. So we understand and appreciate our children wouldn't be where they are. I mean, mine are significantly older than Jake's, but they wouldn't be where they are. They wouldn't be thriving and succeeding if it weren't for dedicated teachers like you.
Right.
And when we talk to you about things like next or in 2 weeks, we're talking about H5P. We're talking about different tools that we have vetted, that we use, that we think will make your lives easier, your teaching more engaging, and will really, really help you. We're not just going and picking up random things and saying, hey, you should use this. I mean, we're not getting any sort of, like free FlipGrid stickers for talking about FlipGrid. Maybe we should ask them. Just kidding. Neil, I was really kidding. You would not be happy that I just said that. But no, we're bringing you things that we know work and that
Yeah.
we like and that we've had great success and that are multifunctional. We're not going to say, hey, you should go and spend your time learning to use this and you can only use it for this thing. You can use FlipGrid for a ton of stuff. And it's really fun. And I got nothing else.
Yeah, we have a few questions here.
Excellent. I love questions. They're my favorite.
Okay, maybe for those who just joined us, we can repeat some of the questions that had been asked. First, is FlipGrid free to use?
According to Ethan, who did all kinds of research, it is always free to use,
Mhm.
which is
Right.
great
Yeah.
because, we need to support teachers.
Second, is it easy to use FlipGrid? As we mentioned, it's very intuitive. It is very easy to use. Yeah.
I just used it and it is 2:42 in the morning for me. So if I, who am older than probably most people watching this, can use it that early, it is. And if you have questions, they will support you. There's lots of information available, not only in the course that we have, but through FlipGrid itself.
And then third, here's one question asked is how can we monitor the posts or the reactions to the video responses,
Ooh.
knowing that cyberbullying is very rampant now?
So you as the instructor can choose how your settings for different things. Let me go into a different one. And I want to edit this. Sorry, I actually went into the topic instead of going to where I wanted to go.
Yeah. Actually, that's one of the best features of FlipGrid, right? Here's the safety and security that the group that you create that comprised of students has, right?
Right.
Because you're able to basically control the people in the group, and when that is possible, there's also so many teachable opportunities for teachers to consider, like how to give constructive criticism, right? Or feedback that's actually useful, that's actually purposeful for class purposes or for discussion purposes. Unlike if it's an open type of video platform that's being used, really there's very little control that teachers have over it.
Well, and I was just thinking of something else while you were saying that, and it's so if yeah, Flipgrid is completely controlled. It's your
Yeah.
environment. You choose who gets to be in it. You can choose to delete
Mm,
responses. Um, but the other thing is, if someone chooses to use Flipgrid to cyberbully, you have a record
mm,
where you can actually go back and use that as a teachable moment.
yeah,
So, if a student is willing to record themselves bullying somebody else,
mm,
you now can go and point out to, whoever needs to know that this kind of behavior is unacceptable. And this is exactly what you were talking about, because sometimes we forget that we've done something, especially when you're little and you're in the moment and you're excited. You know, you may not realize what you said.
mm,
And now you can actually go and you can and show it. Um, if it happens. But again, you control who is in your space, who you let be in that space, and who can see videos, what they can do with videos. We have a setting, and I don't know what I've done to my computer today. Okay, I am sorry, I can't show you because I have done something to my computer and it's just mad at me. But we when you go and you edit your settings in Flipgrid, you can choose if people can comment. It's very easy to use. We let people comment. We do not let people download other people's videos. And that's an easy setting that you can use. And I think it's an important setting, especially if you're teaching children, because you want to protect them, you want to protect their identities, you want to protect their futures. So Flipgrid has all these security features built in, so you can control things.
mm.
Or others we wouldn't want to use it.
Exactly.
Yes,
And
Czar,
sorry.
please. My computer isn't functioning, and Czar, who was originally going to do this course, and then wasn't able to, has joined us, and she's saying, Can she quickly show you how to make an
Sure.
activity and show a security feature? Please, my computer and I are going to have a very inappropriate conversation when we're done with this class. So
Zara is
Abby,
one of
can
the
you let?
top teachers, right? We
Oh,
use
Czar's amazing. We
in
love Czar.
our she has designed online courses using different tools and apps. So, hi Zar, welcome.
Hi, can
Hi,
you see
Czar.
me? I think I'm not seeing myself here.
No, we're
Hang
not seeing
on.
you either.
Oh yeah.
I think it's my
Um,
computer is now making everything difficult for everyone.
Let me see.
And I would love to ask everyone if they can help me fix my computer issue, but that's my issue. And Jake is
Let me
smiling and
just
saying, "Yes, take
Yeah.
care
fix.
of your own
So,
issues."
So
all
while
right.
Zara is okay, there we go.
Hi,
All
Czar.
right. Okay. Hello.
How you doing?
Okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna quickly show how they can actually create. Teachers can create activity on Flipgrid, and some security features as one of our participants' concern is. So let me just share my screen.
We lost Jake.
Okay. Oh.
Abby, can Czar share her screen, please? I think my
We can
computer
doing it
issues
right.
have infected the rest of this whole thing.
Okay. So while okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay.
That's so cool. It's like the mirror and it just keeps going back.
What's happening?
It's not letting you share the screen that you want to share because my computer is affecting everyone.
Oh,
Well,
let
Zara,
me.
I appreciate that you want to do this, but it's all in the course. So I think that
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
just
I
take
just
the course, that's
just want to
fine.
make give them the idea on how they can do the course. Yeah, but right.
Well, so we've talked a lot about why, when, how, and where to use Flipgrid, but what are your thoughts? What do you want to contribute?
Well, actually, just like what Jake mentioned earlier, that Flipgrid is a video platform. Yeah, that's right, and that actually empowers the learners the voice. Yeah, the voice of the learners, which is quite amusing for me because I'm using Flipgrid myself, and this is how I actually get my learners to talk. Because during online classes they won't even open their camera, so whenever I ask questions, I throw questions, I try to get ideas from them, nobody answers but me. So as I explored different platforms in YouTube, in Google, I learned about Flipgrid, and then it's very easy to learn, it's very straightforward, so I applied it in my class. And I was very happy because my students were able to unleash their creativities in projecting and presenting themselves with their brilliant ideas. And with that, I was able also to manifest the three E's in teaching. I was able to engage my learners. I was able to let them enjoy the class and enrich their learning throughout every session. Yeah,
So,
it's really
something
great.
you just said reminded me. We did a webinar a while ago, months
Mhm.
ago, and one of my good friends was from the University of Illinois. Came in, and we were talking about. I don't. It was one of the four C's of 21st century education, and we were talking about the intimacy of online learning, of when you expect students to have their cameras on, you're going into their home, being behind my green screen. This is my office, but it's also a guest room.
Yeah.
So behind here is, there's pictures of my kids, there's all these other things. So if I took this down, I would have you in my home. And for some kids, they don't necessarily want you to see that. So Flipgrid gives them the ability to have a background that they're comfortable
Yes,
with.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that maybe we don't take the time to really think about.
Mhm.
But, we make assumptions about the lives of our teachers and the lives of our students. So Flipgrid lets them put the face forward that they want you to see. And I think that that's an important thing.
Exactly. And you know what? I actually got my computer working right now. So if
Woohoo!
you don't mind, I can already share my screen here.
That'd be great.
All right. So here it is. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yes.
There we
All
go.
right. So this is the dashboard of Flipgrid once you have already created your educator's login account. So these are my groups. My groups are my sections. So I have 5 sections here. When I click on topics here, okay, I have 16 topics. Good thing about Flipgrid, to keep your topics not messy on your dashboard, you can actually click right here, active. You can do view only, or you can hide the topic, so that if the topic is no longer for use, you can just hide it so that it won't confuse your students. Okay, let me choose an example of topic here. All right, so this is the actual topic, sample topic that I created for my class. Now, for the question about security, so let me just go ahead and go to settings. This one here is the settings. So you can actually turn on the moderate videos and comments. So with that, you have the power to moderate the comments of the students, whether you want to approve it or not. If it contains some foul words or whatever that is not necessary for a comment as a response for others' videos, you can actually turn this on so you can approve or disapprove those comments. And it is actually very easy to share with your class because here, okay, so once you have created your topic, you can create your title. You can just add this under the description. You can add the questions or the instructions, and then you can also choose among these times how much time would your students would like to you would want them to video themselves. So that could be from 15 seconds to 10 minutes. Okay, now once you're done with all of that, you can just save it. Once it's saved, you can go ahead and click this share button, and then you can share it whether in Google Classroom, or you can just copy the link and then send it to whichever platform you want it to be sent. Or you can also copy embed code, so you can embed the Flipgrid topic to any website, or if you want to integrate it to FreeJoo, you can do it by that. That's all. That's very easy, very
So
straightforward.
easy, right? And Zar, that's the rubric for grading, right? You can
Yes,
also,
this one is the rubric for
so when the
grading.
students see it, they can see the instructions and the
Exactly.
grading criteria that will be used.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Zar.
They are much welcome.
And
Well,
that's a science
Yeah.
example. And there's so many ways, right? There's so many ways for
Right.
teachers to learn different subjects from different grade levels, by which video assessments can be produced by students to measure learning, to assess learning there. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
yeah, it can be used across topics. It can be used to
Uh-huh.
do interdisciplinary stuff. It
Hmm.
really is boundless and limitless. It's just
Yeah.
your imagination. So I think that the people should all take our course and then play with Flipgrid and find out how it really will help enhance your learning. Anything else that we want to talk about?
Yeah. No, well, there's one more question, Chris.
Awesome.
Maybe we can end with this one. Does
Okay, cool.
Flipgrid have a size limit? And when we checked, I asked Abby to check. Flipgrid currently supports MP4, MOV, and WEBM video
Yeah.
formats. And the maximum size of an import is 500 MB. So there's really a lot of room for students to to use different formats and to use different lengths of videos, right? Because of the available limit for the students.
And they can make, as Zara showed, up to a 10-minute video. So this is up to
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Do you want them to have just a really quick answer in 15
Yeah.
seconds? And it goes in what, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I think that's it. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of different time options.
Okay.
And you can
Those
also
are,
ask
yeah.
them the same question and
Yeah.
do it repeatedly, saying, okay, no, you've had 5 minutes to do this.
Mhm.
Now do it in 2
Yeah.
and see how it would change. Or you've had
Yeah.
2 minutes, now expand on it and do it in 5 or do it in 10.
Mhm.
So there's things that you can do and play. Sorry, Jake, you were going to say something.
No, no, no. I was just gonna ask Czar how the students are finding it every time they have to
Oh, they're
answer.
actually really enjoying it. It's actually best a great tool for assessments and um, peer-to-peer learning because with the feature that the students can also watch others' responses, they can also add comments. So there is a sense of collaboration, and they
Mhm.
can also get ideas from one another. They can have exchange of ideas from one another, learn from each other.
Mhm.
So it's a great tool for assessment and peer-to-peer learning as well.
Thanks, Czar.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to ask for final thoughts. Anybody have anything else they want to say about Flipgrid or any other messages for our wonderful teachers?
Yeah, let me go ahead, dear teachers.
Please.
Just be brave in trying out all these ed apps and platforms, especially Flipgrid. When you're courageous enough and brave enough to try these out. Who knows what new worlds they will unlock, or what possibilities can be achieved for you as a teacher and the students when it comes to their learning. So just keep exploring and keep having the courage to try these new techniques, these new apps out.
Excellent. Czar, any thoughts?
Yeah, let's just be as teachers. Let's just be really flexible. If you have extra time, uh, like for example, for me, I usually watch YouTube videos with trending apps and platforms that can be used for my class because students these days, since they are at the age of computers, selfies, TikToks, we really have to adapt to them. And we have to embrace the changes. So we have to be really flexible to get their attention in our class.
Yeah. So a couple things, couple reminders. We have our next webinar is actually a topic that I think is really important, and that's digital citizenship, and that is a week from today. Then we are doing our next workshop is 2 weeks from today, and Zara and I are going to do this one together on H5P, and there's so much to do on H5P. It's an
Yes.
amazing system. So please feel free to attend those, put them on your calendar. Register. Abby put the link up to register. Check out FREEJOO. Again, to get a certificate for attending this webinar, we want you to take that course. We want you to really get the hands-on experience. So take the course. I believe that Abby put that link up a minute ago. We want to remind you about Andrew's fabulous course on FREEJOO, on cultural intelligence, which is getting more and more important. And just to, again, thank you. Breathe. Be bold, try new things, have fun. I mean, and I think FlipGrid is fun. So have some fun. If you need us, we are available. Just let us know how we can help you. And thank you for taking the time to join us. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Hi. I am Jenny and welcome to FREEJOO, the global community of educators. Let me show you why as an educator you should make FREEJOO an important part of your teaching and learning practice. A community of teaching practice is important for any educator. On FREEJOO you will be able to access CollabEd, which is like LinkedIn but for educators. Here you will be able to connect and network with other educators from all around the world. You can build your own community of teaching practice and/or join one of the many other existing groups and learn and share ideas, lesson plans, etc. with each other. Then, for a more formalized approach to professional development, you can go to SkillEd, which is like Netflix for educators. Here, you will be able to access a wide range of courses designed by global experts that will help you to learn about new pedagogical, technical, and soft skills, all related to 21st century education and the future of work. There are more than 20 courses available for free, and for more advanced level courses, you can upgrade to the Silver membership plan for just $20 per year and get access to all courses designed by Akadasia. The courses are available in English and in several other Asian languages. And what's more, you will receive a free verifiable and tamper-proof digital certificate for each course that you complete. If you have upgraded your membership to the Silver, Gold, or Platinum plans, you also get access to DesignEd, which is like Canva for educators. Here you will find the easiest and fastest way to practice your own instructional design skills and build your own courses. We have pre-integrated several third-party edtech apps like FlipGrid, Canva, Mentimeter, Padlet, H5P, Zoom, etc. right into FREEJOO so you can make your courses engaging and fun for your own learners. As you can see, there is a lot you can do on FREEJOO as an educator. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.freejoo.com and get your very own free lifetime membership today. See you soon on FREEJOO.